Hi, team. Good evening. Today we are going to discuss about large group coding in health insurance industry. Myself, Inakraj Shavi, software engineer at Pastec. I have 4+ years of experience as a Salesforce developer, and I worked in multiple public sector and healthcare projects. So this is our agenda. So first we are going to see about overview of large group coding, followed by attributes and categories. And let's see how to create the root product, uploading census, and we'll see how to calculate the insurance amount, followed by code generation, updating code status, and finally we'll have the demo session followed by Q&A. So first, let's see about overview of large group in Salesforce. So in this overview, we are going to cover what is large group, what is code, features of large group coding, and business process. So first, what is large group? So as the name describes, large groups are nothing but big organizations. That is companies with many number of employees with multiple branches and in multiple locations. For example, we can say a company with more than 50 employees or more than 100 employees are called the large group organizations. Okay. So in health insurance industry, large groups are customers or company who need to provide health insurance and other type of coverages to their eligible employees and also to their dependents. So this business process helps you to generate code and email them to the customers. So it has additional benefits like we can create multiple codes for the same customer also. For example, you can say if there is an employee in an organization with one spouse and two children, the insurance amount will cover for that employee and also his dependents, that is his spouse and two children. So in the same way, the large group code will cover insurance for all his employees and the dependents in their organization. The next one is what is quote? Quote is an estimate of amount for the insurance. The insurance quote is an document that every customer will receive that will detail the estimated amount of insurance policy. So it is fully based on the information that the organization provided and the insurance that they have purchased to their employees. For example, there is an employee who opted in for medical benefits means the quote document will define the coverage for their regular checkups, their own ambulance costs, their emergency service, likewise. So this document will be helpful for the employees to compare the policies. The main three key aspects of quoting are product modeling, rating, and quoting process. Product modeling is nothing but the product that they are purchasing. That is the insurance that they are purchasing. Rating is the amount calculations. So what is the amount for that insurance? So how much will it cost? So that is the rating process. So the rating procedure will prices the products that they are purchasing and it will send the prices to the quote. And the last one is quoting process. Quoting process is the addition of product modeling and the rating process. So it will create the final document and it uses the services to find the products and its rating. So let's see the features of large group quoting. In the large group quoting, it has a realistic product models and rating procedures, and it has omniscripts and flexcard based UI. So you can also make use of the pre-built components in the org, and it has a special feature like autofill functionality. So once you click that autofill button, it will automatically fill all the values in the respective field. So you can also make use of that. And if you want to practice the large group coding, you can also request the art to the Salesforce. Next one is a business process. We'll see in detail in the demo session. So first, create large group accounts. Why we need to create a large group accounts first? So in order to generate the code, we need to create a large group account. First, we need to know the details of the company. We need to get their address. We need to know how many employees are working on that organization. So these information comes under the large group account. Next one is creating product. So we need to design the product based on the company's requirement. Based on our customers' needs, we need to create our product. And the next one is create code census. So it is nothing but to calculate how many employees are eligible in that organization to opt this insurance. So we need to calculate the population. We need to calculate the number of employees. So for that purpose, we need to calculate the census. We can configure and rate the plans to add the code, and we can also view the summary, then generate and email the code. It is used to negotiate the cost and discount of the health insurance plan. So you can also generate and email them to their customers. And at last, we can update the status. So you can update the status of the code as approved or rejected, so based on the customer's inputs. So for any questions, okay. The next one is attributes and categories. Attributes, it defines the coverage, insurance items, and other part of insurance products and plans. Basically, when you view the attribute designer page, you can see many existing categories. For example, you can say dental, vision, general medicine, and so on. So either you can choose the existing one, or you can also create the new attribute and categories. Let's see one of the example in our next slide. So here I have taken the dental care as an attribute category. So as we all know, right, dental medicine has many divisions, like root canal treatment, tooth cleansing, and other emergency dental care. So these divisions comes under the attributes. And the main type, that is the dental, comes under the attribute categories. So it will be easy for the users to find and all the right coverages, right insurance when they choose the products. So when you see this diagram, attributes belong to the attribute category. So without attribute category, we can't create the attribute. So we need to create the attribute category first before creating the attributes. And the next one is root product. So first, let's see the difference between what is root product and what is coverage specification product. So root product is the main product. So it is the insurance. It is the main product to calculate the insurance amount. So that has the that the customer will choose based on their needs. So it is visible to the customer. But coverage specification products are not visible to the customer, but it is used to link our attributes and attribute categories to that coverage specification product. So basically, both are same object, that is product object, but we are differentiating those products based on the record types. So root product have different has different record types, and coverage specification products are different record types. The building sequence will be in the form of 3 steps. The first step is first we need to create the attributes and its categories, and the second step is we need to create the coverage specification product. So which is nothing but the child product. It will act as a child product. And the last one is root product. So it is the main product and it is also the parent product. Okay. So every child specification products may have different attributes, and they are differentiated by their attributes only. And child specifications and attributes are reusable. So we can use child specification for different parent products. So this is assigning attributes. So we'll see this in our demo. We cover this in demo session. So it is nothing but we are going to link our attributes with our coverage specification product. For that, it will ask for the category and attribute name, and it will ask us to select the data type. You can select data type as currency, percentage, number. So based on your needs, based on your requirement, you can choose the data type. And the last one is the rating attributes. It is nothing but whether I'm sending these values as an input or output to my calculation procedure. Okay. So this is how the attribute screen will looks like. First, it will ask us to select the category. So you can select the category here. So based on the category, the attributes will get differ. For vision, it will display all the attributes related to the vision. If you say, select the dental, it will display all the categories attributes related to the dental. And the next one is data type. So here you can choose data type as person, currency, number, anything as per your requirement. And if you see this is configurable checkbox, it is used to decide whether my value will be visible to the customer as a drop down values or a single value. So if you enable this checkbox, you will have that option to choose. And if you enable this checkbox, you have additional advantage like when you view the data type, the pick list and multi-select pick list value will be added. If you enable this checkbox, if you disable this one, you can't see the pick list and multi-select pick list in the data type. And the next one is rating checkbox. So once you enable this checkbox, it will ask whether you're sending this value as an input or output. So if you choose the input means it will ask for the variable. So this is the overall procedure that we are going to follow when creating the root product. The first step, we need to create the attribute. Second, we need to coverage specification product. Third, we need to create the root product. So every product should have their own price book. So I'm linking, we are going to link the root product with price book and coverage specification product with price book. And at last, we are going to create the product child item, which is nothing but a junction object to relate our parent product and our child product. And the next one is uploading census. So as we all know, census means it is the calculating the population, right? So here also census provides the statistics about the eligible members of that organization. That is how many eligible employees are there, how many dependents are there for each employee. So it will calculate the populations. So this census process is used in quoting, rating, and enrollment process. So based on the census, the quoting will get differ, and also the insurance amount will differ. Okay. So there are two ways to upload a census file. The first one is .csv file. So if you have many employees, it will be an easy method to upload the census file. So it will be also a time saving one. And the next one is manually create record. So you can also manually create records for each and every employee. So if you prefer the .csv file format, means this is the file format. The row one decides the header row, so which is nothing but the field name. And from row 2, you can give the employee names and their dependency. So employee name should come first and followed by the dependents. So if you look into the row 5, he is an employee and row 6 and row 7 are his dependent. So every time you you prepare an Excel sheet, please make sure that employee comes first and its dependents followed by their employees. The next one is linking my root product with my calculation procedure. This is the most important step to calculate the insurance amount. So for that, in product detail page, we need to choose whether my calculations are done by integration procedure or I'm choosing the calculation procedure. Okay, so if it is an integration procedure means we need to give the integration procedure name, and the integration procedure will send the input to the calculation procedure. So in the calculation procedure, the calculations will be processed based on the formula, and also you can make use of the aggregation functions also. So if we have any complex calculation means we can make use of the calculation matrix. So once we complete all the calculation, this calculation procedure will return the output value again to the integration procedure. And this IP will send the final output to the root product. So this is how this works. So this is my product detail page. If you see the pricing session, it will ask us to select the type, whether it is an integration procedure or a calculation procedure. So if we select the integration procedure, it will ask us to enter the integration procedure name. And here we need to give the output variable name of our calculation. The next one is calculation procedure. So let's see some basics around this calculations. So this calculation procedure is nothing but a series of calculations. So you can segregate the whole calculation into a step-by-step procedure. Instead of doing the whole process in a single step, you can segregate into each step. For example, in this step 1, you can calculate the number of employees alone. In this step, you can calculate employees, number of employees with spouse, number of employees with children. So you can calculate step by step, and it is a part of the pricing book. So it will decide how much it will calculate the amount, and it will display the output. And we can also associate the data raptor mapping. So the output of the data raptor will be given as an input to our calculation procedure. And also when you see this calculation procedure, it will ask us to choose two types of steps. One, you can either choose matrix or you can use the formula. Formula is nothing but a simple formula that is whether you are going to do a sum of two variables or differentiate or multiplication. So anything that comes under the formula. So if you have any complex calculation needs, we can make use of the matrix. So this is how the calculation matrix looks like. If you see this, for example, if the user selects 20% coincidence after detection means it will check the product code. So if the product code is 25, it will take $50 as a calculated amount. Okay, so if the user select 20% coincidence after detection, but the product code is 35 means it will send the amount as $40 to its calculation procedure. So I am sending the same value, but based on the product code, it will differentiate the amount. So this is how the calculation matrix works. So it is the calculation procedure image. So it will ask whether you are going to choose the matrix lookup or whether you are going to use the calculation alone. So if it is a calculation, you can do this simple calculation. And also it has some aggregation steps also. So you can also make use of that. So this total premium is my output. And the another option is simulate. So simulate is nothing but you can test whether my calculation procedure is working as expected or not, whether it is giving the output as per the expectation or not. So based on the, so with the help of simulation, you can easily find out is there any error in my calculation procedure or not. So since it is the longest process, there are three simple tips to troubleshoot if we face any problem. So first one is we should make sure whether my integration procedure or my calculation procedure, whether all the procedures are active or in active state or not. And you can also make use of the simulator to check our calculation procedure. And also you need to check the variable name. So this is the most important thing. So we need to be very careful while giving the variable names. And the next one is code generation. So once we complete all the process, we need to send the code to the customer. So we can design a code document in the document template designer object. So you can either send the template type as a Microsoft Word or PPT or Excel, anything you can say. So the code will be received by the customer through their emails. So this is how the code generation document, the document template designer looks like. So you can choose the data raptor for token mapping method, and you need to provide the data raptor. So we need to define which object you are going to use. And the last one is code status. So you can update the code status by two ways. One is through code record page, or else if you have account number means you can directly go to that account, and through account you can also update the code status. So these are all the some of the status available in the OR. So before going to the demo, so far any questions? So these are the 7 steps that we are going to follow for our demo. The first one. So as we already said, the first one is attribute and categories. So I'm going to create the attributes in my velocity attribute. For this demo, I'm going to choose the general medicine as an attribute category. So I'm going general medicine. Display sequence, I can give the random numbers. And for applicable types, I'm going to use this attribute category in my product. So I'm choosing applicable type as product. And applicable type, subtype also, I'm going to choose the product tag. So before saving this, make sure whether my attribute category is an active status or not. So I'm saving this to now. So we have successfully created the attribute category. Now we need to create the attributes that is subdivisions under this general medicine. So I'm going to create this and just giving the code as some random numbers. And again, another attribute called emergency service. And the last one is for ambulance calls. So general medicine is my attribute category, medical expenses, emergency service, and ambulance. These are my attributes. So we completed the step 1. This step 2 is coverage specification product. So for that, I'm going to the product tab. So as we already discussed, coverage specification product and root product are same product object, but they are differentiated by record types. So for coverage specification product, I am going to choose coverage specification as a record type. As generic. Oh. So I'm just giving the random product code and making this status as active. And you can choose the type as anything, medical, dental, or anything as per the requirement. So you can also update at later time also. And I'm keeping the status as active and saving this report. So now my coverage specification product has been correct. And the next one is root product, which is the parent product. For that, I'm going to choose product as a record type. So I'm selecting product as a record type. And this is my root product. I'm going to make this active. Giving the random product code, I'm selecting type as sometimes. So this is the important part. So in pricing section, we need to give whether I'm going to use integration procedure or calculation procedure. Okay. For now, I have integration procedure, so I'm selecting the integration procedure. I've already created this IP. Let me explain that later. So I'm going to make use of that one. And for mapping, and again, I'm going to keep the status as. So we have completed step 1, step 2, and step 3. And step 4 is every product should have the price book. So I'm going to link the price book to my products. For that, I'm going to the related list. Just adding the standard price book. Price as numbers. Repeating the same step for my coverage specification product. So successfully linked the price book. And the fifth step. Fifth step is creating the junction object record, which is a product child item. So we need to link our root product and coverage specification product. Since root product is our parent product, I'm going to the product root product page. And in related list, I'm going to create the product child item. So I'm giving sequence as in random numbers. So here you can see parent product as my general medicine group product and my child product as a general medicine coverage specific. And sending this one. So this is also completed. And the next one is I need to link my attributes with my coverage specification product. So this is the important step. Let's see. For that, I'm going to the coverage specification product. Here you can see attribute tab, right? So under the attribute tab, I'm going to select the category. So general medicine. This is what we have created in our attribute designer. So I'm selecting the general medicine. The first one is medical expenses. So this is how the attribute page looks like. Here it will ask for the category, attribute, and the next one is value data type. You can choose any data type as per the requirement. And here you can see the is configurable checkbox, right? So if you enable this, it will ask whether you are going to show the currency value in a drop-down way or in a single value. I'm selecting the drop-down. And again, if you notice, if I enable this checkbox, you can see the pick list, multi-value pick list, and multi-pick list. So if I disable this checkbox, means you can't see that pick list. So if you want pick list, you need to enable this one. So I'm selecting this. And for value, it will ask for the display value and the value behind that display value. So I'm giving display value as $100 and the backend value as 100. If you click the enter, it will ask for the another row. That's $200 for 200, $300 for successfully created. So if you see this radio button, it will ask to choose which row should be default one. If you choose the 200 as a default one, it will be visible, defaultly visible. So I'm choosing 100 as a default row. And the next one is a rating. So when you click this rating, you need to you need to choose whether I'm sending this value to my calculation procedure as an input or an output. So I want to send this $100 as an input to my calculation procedure. For that, I'm clicking code as one. So we need to be very careful when giving this variable name, because this is the variable we are going to use in a calculation procedure to calculate the insurance amount. I'm saving this report. Again, I'm repeating the same step for emergency service. Data type, I'm choosing the currency and I'm enabling the 6.3 checkbox, choosing drop down. 100 for 100, 200 for 200, $300 for 2. So I'm making $200 as a default one. And again, I'm going to send this value as an input. So this is emergency service. Save this to me. So that's all. The attributes are linked to my coverage specification product. So we have completed the step 6, and the last one is rating facts. We need to link rating facts to our root product. So I'm going to the root product. So in the attribute, so in the tab, you can see the rating facts tab. Here, I'm going to select rating fact as code line. So I'll tell the reason why I'm selecting the code line item fact as rating fact. So that's all. We have completed all these 7 steps. So now let's see the integration procedure. So what this integration procedure will do. So this is the integration procedure that I already created. Here I have the data raptor and calculation procedure. So the purpose of this data raptor is to calculate the census members. like how many employees are there, how many employees are there with children, how many employees are with spouses. So I want this calculation, I want this number to use it in my calculation procedure. So this is the purpose I'm using the data raptor. So in order to get this data raptor value, I need some inputs like census ID, quote line item ID. So this is the reason why I'm linking the rating facts here. So if you see this rating facts, it will send the census ID, it will send the quote ID. So everything to the data raptor. So based on this value, it will calculate how many employees are there. So I'm going to use these variables in my calculation procedure. So this is the purpose of data raptor. So when you look into the calculation procedure, this is the calculation procedure that we are going to use. So here you can see simulate tab and procedure calculation tab. So here calculation tab, you can do your calculation, and in simulation tab, we can test whether my calculations are doing as expected or not. So here I'm going to create the variable. So which variable I need to add? For that, I'm going to my child product. So this is the attributes that we have created, right? So I need to give this variable name in my calculation procedure and set the data type as number. And again, I'm having another attribute, which is emergency service. I'm giving the data type as number for this also. So now I created the two variable. The next step is I need to do the calculations. For that, so here we are going to do a calculation. If you see the step one, this is the this will calculate the number of family. So how many employees are depending? For example, if I say there's an employee with one spouse and two children means, it will calculate the total amount. So there are four members in the family. So this data raptor will send the output. It will be sent in some other variables. So I'm going to frame the formula. So I'm going to add my medical expense and the emergency service and multiplied by the number of family members. So if you say the medical expense is $100 and emergency service is $100, it will add all the attribute values and multiply it by the number of family members. So it will return the final amount. So I have completed my calculation procedure. So when you see the aggregation step, this is the total premium value is the variable that we have mentioned in our root product. So I'm saving this one. So let's use the simulation. So just refreshing the page. So you see that the variables that we have created in the calculation are displayed here. So for medical expense, I'm giving the $100. For emergency service, I'm giving the $200. And the number of members in a family is 4. So here you can see the two buttons. One, we can simulate every step and see the output for each step, or else you can see only the final step value. So now I'm simulating all my steps. So this the output of this step 1 is 4. And the output of this step 2 is 1200. Why? It will add all my values and multiply it by number of family members. So in the total premium, it will hold the value as 1200. So let's check and we'll enable this one. We'll make this active so that you can use in our account. So I've activated this one. Let's go to the home page. So if you see, these are all the inbuilt components, so inbuilt flex cards. So you can also make use of that. So when you click the create large group account, I'm going to use the autofill functionality. So I'm autofilling all the employee details. I'm clicking next, and the employee contact, I'm also autofilling that one. So I'm clicking next. See, the account has been created. The number is 9355. So let's see whether my account has been created or not. Yeah, my account has been created. So whenever a large group account gets created, it will create along with contacts, opportunities, and code record. So this is the account that we have created. When you see the contact tab, the contact record will be created. When you see the group explorer, we can see the code record. So when you click this button, it will navigate to the code record page. So when you see the details, these are the details that we have provided while creating the account. So the first step is we need to upload the census document. So this is the census document that I'm going to upload. For now, I'm just giving one employee, one spouse, and two children. So the total number of family members is 4. I'm going to upload. So here you can use upload a census document, or you can also add member manually. So I'm going to upload my census file. So once you upload this, it will ask the mappings are right. So I'm just doing this one. See, it will automatically calculate how many members are there in that census file, how many spouse, how many children are there. So it will calculate all the members. So now I'm going to the large group plans. So here I'm going to choose the product. Here is how I'm going to purchase the insurance. So my root product is general. So general medicine is my root product. So I'm adding it. When you see the coverage, see, we already made that right. So 100 as a default for medical expense and 200 as default for emergency service. So when you click, it will show as a drop down. It is purely works under the is configurable checkbox. So you can also change the value. So I'm giving $200 as medical expense and $200 as emergency service. So when you click this take now button, it will calculate and show the amount. Why 1,600? So it will add, that is 200 plus 200, 400. And the number of members in the family is 4. So multiplied by 4, that is 1,600. So what I did is a simple calculation. So what I upload is a one employee, but large group will have more than 500 or 1,000 employees, and they will upload the census file and they'll calculate the amount. So the calculation procedure will get extended to many steps, like 20 or 25 steps. And the company will pay this amount and get their insurance. For example, if there is an employee who is having some emergency service, means he can make use of this insurance. So if we got the medical bill as $150 means this $200 emergency service insurance will take care of that. Balance 500 will be in his account. So if the medical bill exits this $200 means the 200 will be covered under the insurance amount and the balance amount he needs to do. Okay. So this is how the insurance amount calculation works. And also if you want to generate the document and if you want to send the code to the customer means, you can select this option. Next. It is loading. Here you can see one button called download Word, right? So you can either download your Word document through here, or by clicking next, you can send that document to the email address. So this is how you generate the document, and email them. And the last step is updating the code status. You can either go to the code record page and update your status, or you can update it through the account itself. So how means, so if you click this icon, it will ask us to choose the status. So I'm giving the status as approved, updating it. So here you can't see that one. So in the approved code, we move to the updates. So if you reject the code means it will be seen under the rejected links. Any questions, team?